Remember I told you how I handled Alex? Were I born perfect? Good evening, YouTube. Poem called Were I Born Perfect? It has a subtitle, Lament. Remember I told you how I handled Alex? It's a bad case, hey? What with his doing 8 bags of dust at a time and then visiting local bars so sick, upchucking right on the patrons' jackets. While they sat there all innocent, people on their stools were having a drink. I refused to talk to him for years, refused all contact. I was afraid. People had not realized how great my fear. He occupied my thoughts night and day. I thought he might wind up in jail or dead or victim hooked up like some medical experiment. Doctors without options, practicing last resort medicine, wires and tubes, and parent witness to nightmare, that nasty ordeal when intervention takes place during hospital emergency. It's not death, for death but a word. It's the way of it I feared. I called it love, my having nothing, absolutely nothing to do with him until he went for help because he seemed unable to help himself and ceased the shit with which he played. I didn't know what else to do. Once he called me and said, "Dad, I've got the monkey off my back." But I hanged up the receiver, didn't let him explain. I couldn't take it. No more bullshit. I knew he was still in the circus. And Billy, the surrogate son, you know the story. I treated him the same cold shoulder, not talking to him months on end until he realized our friendship. Our friendship depended on his treating his 2 boys like a proper father. I wanted him to put his children first in life. And I meant it. Forget about my smile and easy charm. It's never smart to test my resolve. But darling, when it comes to dealing with you, I find no human love prevails. No mere earthly style or mode of affection works. Oh, the poetry. Look to the poetry I write for you. My heart wells up, the warmest regard, right up to the breaking point. In poem after poem I tried to portray how great, how utterly abandoned I declared were fate to bring us to terrible juncture, a crossroad where all choice reduces to either my life or yours. Gladly would I give up mine. I would die for you. To proclaim the veracity of your physical beauty, I wrote Red Roof Inn. I spent a year and wrote Now Voyager for you. The time when in Brooklyn I found you that early rainy morning, I knew you were a treasure, you the reason I wrote Serendipity. And that night that I might attest to your strength of character, express my fondest feelings for you, I wrote, then over and again I rewrote Dream Children, verse which pictured you in time, the future mother of our 2 children. Oh, the tender thoughts, you on my mind, beseeching you, and ever so softly, so gently I sought to touch upon the strings of your heart. And the letters, they are all love letters, and we have a pile of them. But in this correspondence I said it wrong, overstepped the line, wanted propriety, and for those errors in judgment and phrase, the anger, when perhaps I put my own bruised feelings before you, heart, all the many gifts you brought me. I implore you, please forgive. Whenever I lacked intellectual might, the good sense to say it right with care, still it was you, your well-being foremost in my life. My intent was proper. I wanted best for you, and you know it. And though I wish you forever well, such a love you may not find again. Yet I doubt all my love allows you any easier asleep. And one wonders what technique, what kind of human love might lessen the pain, the disorder troubling you, and calm the upset delivering us to this grisly end. The final stages of our romance. Here I pray to God. I fall to my knees, such the will to believe. Ask munificence be granted, the Almighty do on earth all those things that I had failed to do for you. God's will be done. Were it, had destiny been that I had been born perfect, And now, how I regret when a child I wasted time playing with crystal sets, and in the basement of my parents' home spent hours profitably upon imaginary laboratory tables with chemistry, meaningless experiments with liquids and powders. Had I been born perfect, a man capable of grand devotion, the kind of guy who might do you real good, I would have turned about, practiced the illusionist trade, and trained until I possessed every trick in the book. Then I could live within the mirror, and when you went to look, instead of you, the reflection staring back, my picture of you, the way I see you when you stand before me, and you and I would never lose that image of you so beautiful and pure, no confusion, still and quiet and safe, you never fade away from the center of sight. There would be light, love, and just approval, and it would be my voice ringing through the reflecting glass. Your search at end, no more whisper of doubt, all courage, end to frailty, sadness no more. We would come to world without poverty, and know only hugs, freedom, and peace. Were it, yet had I been born perfect, a man capable of grand devotion, the kind of guy who might do you real good, I would have turned about, practiced the illusionist trade, trained until I possessed every trick in the book. Then I could live within the mirror.